Sell in May and go away. Some of you have maybe heard of this old adage before, and some of you haven't. Sell in May and go away is sort of a saying or an adage that they have for the stock market. And what we've seen historically over the years in the stock market is that basically between the months of May and the months of October, there's only about half of the gains that are made historically in a yearly time period is between the months of November to April. And so some sort of boilerplate sayings that for advice that is given sometimes is sell in May and go away. So now what the heck does that have to do with the Central Indiana real estate market, right? I'm not a stockbroker. I don't offer stock advice. But I am Andy Leakey with Andy Leakey and Associates, a part of FC Tucker. And what we're seeing here in the Central Indiana real estate market is that the sellers have actually gone away. It's been a really interesting dynamic that we've seen happen in the last 30 to 45 days that I just really want to talk about. So right now it's the middle of July. I think it's July 17th today when I'm making this video. So and these statistics are for the month of June, and we're going to compare it from June a year ago and then obviously from June 4 years ago. Those of you that follow me a lot know that I like to give you that broader context of what's going on. So anyway, so sell in May and go away, and hey, it looks like sellers have done that here in Central Indiana with the real estate market. What do I mean by that? What I mean is that in the month of June in Central Indiana, there was actually 5.7% fewer homes for sale than there was a year ago at this time. And I want you to stop and I want you to think about that. Because by the way, Hamilton County was down 6.8% and Marion County was even. So think about a year ago when you heard your friends buying or selling, or maybe you bought and sold, and there was no inventory. There's no houses. There's people making multiple offers. What's going on right now, right? So what we've seen is we have fewer homes for sale now than we did a year ago when all that stuff was going on. So what's happened here? Well, what's happened is fewer people can buy homes at 7.5% as opposed to 4%, right? And there's also, I think there's, I forget the stats. I'll have to dig it up here. But there's a lot of people that are in interest rates certainly below 5% and even under 4% across this country. And so what we're seeing is we're seeing fewer buyers that qualify for homes, but also sellers or people that would maybe consider moving that are like, hey, I have a 3.5% rate. I have a 4.5% rate. I don't want to move to another home and sacrifice this interest rate. So we're kind of seeing the market almost balance itself out in regards to fewer buyers, but also fewer sellers. So what does that mean then in terms of here in Central Indiana? Well, actually, what that means is over the last 90 days or so, the average sales to list price ratio has been just a little bit over 100%. And that's correct. You heard that correctly. It's been a little bit over 100%. And why is that? Why is that possible if there's fewer buyers? And again, it's because that there's fewer houses for sale. And right now, what I want to talk to you about is just, so what do we do here? Do we just kind of sit here and kind of wait for the time to pass? That's certainly one option. And if you're somebody that's thinking about making a move, you would need to kind of look at your specific situation and see if that's something that would maybe be a possibility to kind of maybe wait it out a little bit. But what I find really intriguing right now is buyers now have a little bit more choices. I sold 3 houses in the last 5 days, 2 of them in Fishers and 1 in Noblesville. What we saw with 2 of those homes, 2 of those homes sat on the market for more than 45 days. And then 1 of them did sell quickly. But the other 2 that sold had price adjustments, and my buyers were able to get it for a little bit better of a price than they would have certainly 45 to 60 days ago. So right now, I'm a big believer. I've been investing in real estate since 2002, and I've been selling since 2004. And I'm a really big believer that when the market zigs, the wise person zags. And when the market zags, the wise person zigs. And what I really mean by that is right now we're seeing people kind of pause and take a breath And we're getting some early indications from the Fed that, rates hopefully have maybe spiked a little bit, may slowly start to trickle down. Now, we don't know that for sure, but we're kind of getting some early indications of that. And if that's the case, we may start to see more buyers come back into the market and more sellers come back, and we may see the market speed back up again. So right now may be your time. If you're thinking about making a move long term, right now may be your time where you can still get a good price for your home, but you may have a little bit more negotiating room than you may here in the next few months or maybe even a couple of years if rates go down. Because I've said this before, I personally believe, this is not a prediction, but this is just my opinion, I personally believe that if rates were to go back down into the 5s, I think we would see prices soar another 15 to 20%. Now, will rates go down to the 5s? I don't know. Will we see prices escalate again that high? I don't know. But I know right now, if you have a little bit more flexibility in terms of being able to purchase a home and you want to buy it long term, and you can buy it now, then when rates dip, you can refinance and potentially avoid that run up in prices again. So again, it's just something to think about. That may not be the right approach for everybody, but it may be something that if you're in the process of making a move, and if you listen to me for any period of time, the average person, from the time they start thinking about moving to the time that they actually move, is anywhere from 9 to 21, 22 months. So you may be in that 9 to 21, 22 month time period and thinking about, man, I'm going to wait till rates go low. Well, that may or may not be a good idea. If you have any questions about this, if you'd love to just kind of bend the ear of an expert here and kind of get their take on what maybe a good approach would be for you, my team and I would love to chat with you and see how we could serve you. We've been doing this a long time. We've seen markets go up and markets go down, and I'm really excited for the opportunities that I think are around the bend as we start to get into a more normal market. So if you know anybody that's thinking about making a move and would like to get this kind of advice, I encourage you to forward this to them. Also, if you have questions, I'd love to hear what your questions or what your thoughts are on what's going on in this market. Maybe some obstacles that are preventing you from maybe making a move. And maybe we could see how we can just help you gain clarity on your situation. We're here to help and serve. We've been doing that for 19 years. We're going to be continuing to do that. So if you know anybody thinking about making a move or has any questions about the process and how we can serve them, we're never too busy for your referrals. Thanks so much.